What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some Recoil. That's right, Alan Wilder is coming back after a long time, and I want to thank not only Nina and others who had been closely following the Recoil deep dive back when it was more active, but also Chris, who has shared a number of albums and artists with me, and reminded me of this recently, and I sort of bookmarked the archive that he has shared, and I noticed Recoil is in there, and also like Stephan has commented on Recoil. But the point is, I went in there searching around and I found Hydrology 1 and 2, which in the moment, I don't know if this is like a later compilation that put together multiple Hydrology releases previous, which is what I would hypothesize, so let me know if I'm wrong about that. But when I downloaded the first tune, I noticed like it's almost 8 minutes long, so yeah, knowing that his tunes are, even more than most artists, like impossible to get a read on in terms of the title relative to what may happen, I won't spend a great deal of time, and it is a single word title, which is grain. So a grain is like the smallest entity which can exist for some type of substance or material. It is one grain which, together with many others, could form a composite whole, or could be a quantity of some material that serves a function or has a particular environment. But a grain, whether it's a sand grain or a grain of bread or whatever it is, it's just the smallest possible unit of something larger. So that's all we have to go on, and I'm guessing even if that's in some way relevant, it will just be the tip of the iceberg. So let's give it a listen. This is Recoil, aka Alan Wilder. The tune is Grain, and it's the first track on Hydrology 1 and 2. masterpiece, mesmerizing, hypnotic, often fantastical, at times otherworldly, seemingly very consonant and yet occasionally atonal or at least discordant, very much rhythmic and yet extracted from the flow of time. Like, I'm trying to think of all the ways I could characterize this, which felt at once a unitary entity and yet a series of contradictions or dichotomies on opposite ends of the spectrum. A marvelous work, a thoroughly immersive work, one that felt mostly natural instrument sounding. I mean, the piano is sort of the central element, but there were moments where I heard flourishes from what could have been a guitar or a bass, like other keyboard synths that were, again, almost like outside the flow of melody or rhythm. So, yeah, just an art piece, a sonic art piece of experience and otherworldly contemplation, like a masterful tune, and it reminds me that I need to get back to Recoil, and not just with Hydrology 1 and 2 here, and once again, thank you to Chris, but I think I still have at least a few of those remixes from the second CD of the, what is it even called? I forget the name of the Recoil compilation that I was going through that I have in CD form. I know I did all of the regular versions of the tunes, but I think I went through like half of the remixes, so yes, we've got more Recoil coming, and I'll try to make it a regular thing again, so yeah, let me know what you think, but that was just stunning. I'm not sure I can do any more reactions after this, so let me know what you think, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.